Welcome to the Village of North Hudson Plan Commission meeting of Wednesday, June 19th, 2019. Do we have a roll call, please?
Members Bachman,
Here.
Howard,
Here.
Chair Miser,
Here.
members Mitchell,
Here.
Schneider,
Here.
White,
Here.
Wecken.
Here.
Great, we're all here. First item is the approval of the meeting minutes from our last meeting of May 15th.
I so move.
There's a motion made. Is there a second?
I second.
Okay, any corrections, additions? Hearing none, all in favor of approval of the meeting minutes of May 15th, 2019, signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay, we have approved that. Next item. Public hearing, preliminary plat application to create the Ridges Second Edition, a major subdivision containing 32 lots located on 10th Street North in the Ridges subdivision. Applicant DCCI Investments, Limited Liability Corporation. Discussion and possible recommendation. Somebody want to talk about what's different tonight than 2 meetings ago?
Good evening, my name's Kip Johnson, I'm an engineer with AC Engineering in Hudson. And Ron Derrick here is, as well, is from DCI, the developer. I'll flip this over and go to the site plan.
Well, that's beautiful.
Does it look pretty? The main changes we did from when we were here with the concept plan is I know there was a lot of concern about the driveways being back to each other, so we did manage to adjust the lot lines a little bit and kind of stagger the driveways. As you can see, they're kind of offset now all the way through. And we did get rid of the couple that we had coming off the stub road here, so now all the twin homes will be all in kind of in one row in one area, with the thought of the remainder will be more of the single-family traditional type homes. We did incorporate the trail coming out of the park. We are gonna have to realign some of it here along the back lot line, and then it'll come off to the property that's currently owned by ZAP, I believe. And then we'll be stubbing the road up to tying into the Adam Drive to the north and just doing a future little radius stub out road there for the expansion when that goes to the west. So those were the biggest changes we've done. Pretty straightforward as far as sewer and water services. We'll be tying in down here, running sewer and water up. And then we'll also be providing it to the east here with water extension for the Zappa property. And then we'll be providing sewer and water stubs off to the west for the future road that way. Any other questions, comments, concerns?
So it was preliminary, looking for feedback last time. What's the purpose? What would you like to accomplish tonight?
Recommendation for preliminary plat.
Okay.
So last time was concept plan, now we're coming in with preliminary plat. So then next time we can come back with final plat when we're ready for that.
Okay.
And we did submit engineering drawings for Kevin to review, so our goal is to get final engineering drawings created and approved, so we can begin construction as soon as everybody is happy.
Before we open it up to the public hearing, any other specific questions?
I have one. Is the sewer line that's brought out there, is that gonna have any capacity to hand say further out is developed or annexed into the village? That
Farther-
can be tapped into there and brought down?
To the west or to the north or what?
Oh, to the north, I guess it would be.
I mean, we're limited by the capacity we're tying into down here, so I mean,
Okay,
you know, we're not any larger or smaller than what we're tying in here. I believe it's just an 8-inch coming up there.
There's capacity
Yeah.
in Gary's property that got directional board in it. That's to the east, maybe you're asking to, for his.
no, I was just,
To the township, you're saying?
yeah, well, the township, the buildings, is that north or
North.
west?
Yep, that's north
Straight
that
up
way.
there?
Yep.
That's north, yeah. If any of that was next in, if they would be able to tie into the sewer there, or if that's something else. would have-
Yeah, they'd be able to tie with it. I mean, physically, they'd be able to tie into it with the pipe that we provide to them.
It's an 8-inch.
Yeah, it's an 8-inch sewer line, so.
There's capacity there for additional
There is. Okay.
Yeah, we're not reducing anything that's down here that we're retaining, we're just extending the same size pipe up, so,
Okay.
yep.
Kevin, do you have any other comments you'd want to make? Just on either your recommendations or anything?
It's up, I mean, I can go through the comments if you like.
Sure.
or step up. So yeah, as Kip indicated, we've been going back and forth on, I guess the main thing is the construction plans at this point. So we've worked out a lot of the details over the last week or two. So basically, this is what I came up to after we've gone through all those revisions. Kind of standard practice, we're gonna have to have a developer's agreement in place for the improvements that'll be turned over to the village once they're constructed and accepted from us. With that, we'll need a 2-year warranty period that'll run in the favor of the village after they are accepted, which will probably be this fall, once the construction is done. There's, obviously some permits that are gonna need to be in place, from the village, St. Croix County Planning and Zoning, and, DNR for the sewer and water extension, plus the grading that's gonna go along with this. So those obviously will need to be in place before commencing any construction. We'd like to see a copy of the construction specifications, once those are generated for our review. One thing that we did bring up, we have approached I know Melissa has approached the fire chief in regards to the name of the street itself. As you can see right now, it's proposed as 10th Street. I know there was a map that was provided earlier in this week, kind of an overall, just to see, the road that we are truly tying to on the north end. Currently, that's called Adam Drive. So there was some thought, is that gonna create any issues with fire and EMS because you have 10th Street that aligns into Adam Drive,
Mary has a comment on that.
so.
Go ahead, I liked it.
And I just, I don't think it should be named 10th Street. I think it should be named Adam Drive North. By giving it the north designation, it designates it as North Hudson.
Yeah.
Which
And
would
on the
delete-
map, it just looks like it's one continuous road, so that's.
Right, yep. The fire chief, as of now, doesn't have any issues with it being as 10th Street, but we haven't had any input from EMS either, so truly that name will have to be decided prior to the final plat actually being recorded. That's truly the document.
And
where-
also, house numbering could start at 1,000 for the twin homes, and it ties in nicely with the 1040 and 1041.
Yep.
Mary, one comment though. Adam Drive North, is there gonna be another north on the end of North? If the road is Adam Drive North?
No, that's what we would be naming it as Adam Drive.
Well, it's like North End Road North?
All roads, and
All
even
roads
South
in
Street
North
ends in
Hudson.
north.
Or North End North Road, I mean, I'm just saying, you're gonna have two norths in there, or gonna be just one?
No, just one,
Okay, just one.
Yeah.
just one.
I don't know if we designate another north at the end, and that's
Isn't
the
that
name plus
confusing?
another north?
All
Well,
north.
because it's Adams Drive. It's not Adams Drive North right now.
That's why I didn't understand if
It's
that was
just
the
Adams
name.
Drive.
Okay.
So she's kind of like the rest of everything in North Hudson. We put an N on it, and that's how the Postal Service knows where we are, and that's how my 6th Street mail sometimes finds me.
Yep.
So it's something we wanted to bring to your attention, just so it doesn't cause any issues, but truly, that's gonna have to be decided prior to the final plat being
That doesn't
recorded.
make sense to stop 10th Street at Vale Way North and then keep going, is it another street?
Oh, technically, the numbered name streets run generally north-south or southwest to northeast. 10th Street kind of did a meander due east.
A little bit, yeah, right,
I would have changed the name at that point
yep.
instead of bringing it all the way around.
I think you should talk to the post office, too.
Yeah, so we have some time truly before that name would have to be officially decided, because,
Because where it becomes Adams Drive, isn't that township?
yes. Yep, that's town of Hudson. Yep.
But there's lots of places where, that I drive, that if it's in Woodbury, it's one name, and then it's In Afton, it's got another name,
Right.
but they're the same.
Right, that's
street.
confusing. Don't we, when you drive by Cratley, don't they have two signs up there? It says
They
Cratley,
do.
and Cratley North?
They do have two
Yeah.
signs, yep.
So
That
there's
gets to
precedent
be-
for that.
That's
Gets to be
confusing.
very confusing, but, I mean, you do have a situation in Station Circle North that runs into Starwood.
Yeah,
So, I mean, there is a situation currently where you have two different street names, kind of in, you know, that transition period from the village of North Hudson into the
Yeah.
town of. But we just wanted to bring it to your attention, you know, something to think about. And again, there doesn't have to be an official decision tonight, but just wanted to bring that to your attention, so.
Another option could be to keep Adam Drive until the intersection.
Yeah.
And change it there. So you have basically three different streets at that intersection,
Mhm.
one going west.
Yep.
We don't care what you guys want to do. We want you, it's your decision.
I do have one question.
Sure.
And I asked it 2 meetings ago. I'm very concerned about the number of cars, and my response from the person that was talking said, well, it's mostly empty nesters, and they only have one car. Now, I have a lot of friends that are empty nesters, and in my house, we have 2 cars, and every one of my friends that are the same age group have 2 cars. That means there's going to a possibility of 60 cars coming out of here.
Mhm.
I think that's a lot. I think it's too many, but that's
So
my
we
point.
did the lower area down there. There's 14 units, I wanna say.
I counted
There
them.
was one car per unit, except for 2 of the units had 2 cars.
Where's that?
And one, and, yep,
In the townhomes down there.
yeah, so we,
Went home.
man, my nephew lives down there, and he's one of them with 2, because they have 2 young kids and stuff, but most of those do have 1 car. We went and checked, every one of them had 1 except for 2 units, and one was his, and I can't remember what the other one was.
I mean, capacity-wise, the street will definitely handle it.
I know, but I'm thinking about the
Yeah.
people that live on this quiet 10th Street
Yeah.
that curves around that have kids playing.
Yep.
That's my concern, is there's too much traffic that's going to be generated out of that. I know, because when I moved on my street, Summer Street, it was a dead end, and it was beautiful.
Yep.
And as they built and built and built, it's now like a freeway half the time.
We're on the corner of
The last
10th and
house.
Vale,
Let,
and so we're gonna be a major traffic stop in our front yard.
we'll do that in the public hearing. Why don't you finish on your
Sure.
topic and we'll go to
Okay.
public.
That sounds good. Just one note, you know, stormwater management and parkland dedication, that's already been addressed as part of the previous phases that have happened over the previous years. So there's no additional need for any of those. Couple other things I guess we'll be looking for down the road is streetlights, you know, the locations with details of what the appearance would be. We did have some discussion about that last night at Public Works meeting. And I guess the preference would be just to continue that same theme that they have up there right now with decorative lights. They're like a fiberglass black pole that'll have LED lighting on top. So that was what their recommendation was as of last night. Mass grading plan. There is some grading that's been provided in the construction set of plans for the project in regards to just the street section. But we would like to actually incorporate, you know, the lots themselves, drainage in between the 2 lots, you know, the pathway that'll be going off to the east. Just kind of a whole overall grading, mass grading plan for this phase is what we would like to see. And then the last item, just sizing calculations for the storm sewer that'll be installed in the street section itself. Pretty standard, you know, those are common things that we look at as, you know, when we're reviewing subdivisions.
Anyone have any engineering questions?
There's just one other thing too that the Plan Commission, Public Works had brought up last night with the amount of townhomes that are proposed here. Instead of having individual mailboxes per se, they would like to see kind of a bank of mailboxes in designated areas. Something to, you know, have the developer consider. The ones that they have up there, they're very nice. There has been some damages done to them in the past with snow plowing. The village currently has only a certain dollar amount that they can allocate towards repairing those. So we're trying to minimize, with potentially looking at just centralizing those in a certain spot. So just one of the recommendations that they had brought up last night, so.
Anything else? Thank you.
Yeah.
I would entertain a motion to go into public hearing now.
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor of going into public hearing, signify by saying aye. Aye. We are in public hearing at 7:15. You see, we got members of the public here. If anyone would like to make comments or questions, please go up to the podium, state your name and address, and go ahead. Anyone? Anyone have any comments? Thank you.
My name's Mark Nelson. I live at 1018 North Star Ridge. And the question is, how are we going to handle the water demand? Right now, we have a minimal 40 PSI at the houses, and what will be done, I guess, to at least maintain that and maybe get something a little better?
Go ahead so they can hear it on TV.
All right, so, one of the things that we did take a look at, eventually there is gonna have to be a water booster station installed. And, based on the analysis that we had done and the city of Hudson has looked at, that booster station won't be required until the next phase. Minimum Wisconsin DNR requirements is 35 PSI. So we've actually gone through and looked at what the proposed elevations of the slabs are for the buildings, and every one of them is above 35. But in future phases, there will be a water booster station that's installed, and that there has been space provided in the, down in the park where the bathhouse is. There's a area just on the east side of there. That's where that skid unit will be installed at a future date.
And will it be sized, so not only will it meet the minimums, will it answer the gentleman's,
Yes,
okay?
yep. It'll actually increase some of the pressures that are out there right now. But again, that'll be at a future phase, whenever that, the other one comes on board.
Will not having the booster station for this phase lower the water pressure on existing areas?
No.
Okay.
It's all static pressure is what we work off of. The mains themselves, they're 8-inch mains, so there's not gonna be a lot of pressure loss because they're such bigger pipes.
Okay.
So, yeah, everything will be, up to code. But then in the future, when that other phase comes on, that's when truly the water booster station will be installed.
Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay, anyone else?
My name is Jeff Olson. I'm at 281 Brandon Drive, so we're just up the hill from where Adams intersects Brandon. We're on that circle at the top of the hill, and I'm trying to understand how close are you going to come to our rear lot line as far as clearing vegetation, trees, and things like that? I'm trying to look at this, and we are on Brandon Drive, which
Do you need the other drawing?
Yeah, flip it down. There's another drawing.
correct. Yeah, we're up here, correct. So you're actually not encroaching over here. You're coming straight
Correct.
south off of that.
Correct.
Okay.
So, yeah, so for this phase, we won't be affecting this at all.
And at what point do you think you're gonna get over to this neighborhood?
God knows.
I like that answer, let's get that.
No, it's,
And then, can you give us some sort of an idea of when you plan to start construction?
For this phase, or for that?
For this phase?
Probably
the earliest?
the
Maybe that's the best way to answer that. Is that a better answer as an engineer?
Yeah, yeah.
The earliest is probably September?
By the time you get all the, you know, the permits and all
Yeah.
those things, it's probably gonna be,
The earliest, I would say,
yeah.
Okay,
early fall.
got it. That answers my question, thank you.
Anyone else?
I'm David Lynch. My wife Beth is here. We're at 1272 10th Street, so we're the closest house to the proposed addition. We have several kind of questions relative to the finished product. And Ron may be able to answer that. I've only known Ron for 30 years, so.
Make us that old.
We're getting older, we're getting older. Will this have an association?
Yes.
Okay, and so then the association would do communal lawn mowing and snow plowing kind of a thing, or it'll be up to the individual owners?
They'll do snow, lawn, landscaping, garbage.
Okay, all right. Are these all gonna be built at the same time, or are they gonna phase in as they're bought, or are they all, or are some gonna be speculation?
Some will be spec.
So it just depends on how the construction goes? North to south, which way? South to north?
Probably a little bit of both because there's flat ones and there's,
Hillier ones? Okay, all right. And then at that corner of 10th and Vale with 10th either being extended or Adam being extended, it's a stop off Vale to 10th right now, but would it become a four-way? I just kind of envision a kind of a racetrack going up the hill.
Yeah,
So that's my question. Would that be something that would be feasible there? Stop signs have a double-edged sword. It slows traffic down, but it makes more noise.
right.
Cars stopping and starting. And so,
Kevin, is that Public Works comes up with that, or?
Yeah, we would. I mean, I'm envisioning it would be definitely a stop on 10th coming to the, you know, south and going to the north. It's just a question of Vale Way North, if that would truly have another stop condition or not. 'cause that's-
Vale Way, there is a stop sign
Okay.
here right now, coming on Vale, heading east.
so right now 10th does not have
No,
stop sign, like
no,
you're saying, right?
No.
Right.
So that's, like I said, it's a double-edged sword. You put a stop sign, it slows things down, but then you get more noise. Everybody's stopping and starting at 2 in the morning, or 1 in the morning, or, you know, that kind of thing, or 6 in the morning. It makes a racket that way. So then, with that long expanse of what, you know, the raceway, whatever, does the association, or does Derek, the developer, look at, or the township look at speed humps? Or is that not something that works pretty good?
Yeah,
I've had different
Yeah.
feelings about speed humps too.
Typically, we have not put those in.
Mhm.
The stops,
Pardon me?
snow plowing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know how snow plowing works because of half my yard went away this year, but that's a different story, yeah.
But the stop signs, that's truly something, yeah, the Public Works
Mhm.
would have to say in the, you know, if it's gonna be four-way stop or two-way stop.
Or even a yield.
Yeah,
That would, you 25 miles an hour, one of the members brought up with the kids playing up on 10th. There are a lot of kids up in
There are a
here.
lot of kids up there.
And they're in the street. You know, you can't keep kids out of the street per se. Even if the parents are there, kids can end up in the street. So with this kind of thing, you mentioned that it would be a lot of empty nesters. That was what I heard. Okay, so that's your market? Those kind of people that wouldn't necessarily have children and everything like that. So those are our questions and concerns.
On the stop sign type stuff, that'd be something that you'll all be bringing up with Public Works.
Yes.
And bringing up all the arguments he brought up, the different points.
Yeah, and not arguments in the negative sense.
There's
Discussion.
different ways of looking at it, and they will address them, right?
Yeah.
yeah, we could bring it up,
Yeah.
you know, in a Public Works meeting.
And so as these lots are developed and everything like that, it's all gonna be private development. There's not gonna be any kind of a rental type of things like that, Ron?
And in fact, in the bylaws,
The
it's not.
the association says it can't be, and that was my, kind of my question, given what I know about associations and things like that. And then there's issues I know of with fencing. Questions about types of fence that can be used.
I don't think we allow any fences.
I understood that there are no chain link fence, but you could have other decorative type wood fence or, but I don't, here or there might be different, yeah.
I don't know if we allow any fences. I'd have to go back and read the bylaws.
Well, that's what I understood from dealing with Mike is that you could put fences in, but they had to be the wood type or decorative, but no chain link.
In your covenants, yes.
In our covenants here.
And we would not go below the covenants on anything there, but I
Yeah.
don't think we allow any fences there.
Just because of the size of the lots and those kinds of things, okay. I don't have any other particular questions, although and my wife and I agree that yes, this would be a good development, it's just to make sure that we all do it the right way, right? Thank you.
That's for the vision triangles. On your draft covenants, on the fence part, for number 14, no fence, wall, hedge, shrub, or other object or growing thing which obstructs sight lines at elevations between 2 and 6 feet above the roadway shall be erected, planted, or permitted in the vision triangle of corner lots. No galvanized chain link fence.
So that's the covenants for the overall. So then there's a set of bylaws that go on top for the.
But we don't have that then. We
No,
just-
and that's
okay.
something that's separate. And so I'm not positive they
Okay.
allow fences in those. I'm sorry, if I wasn't clear.
That says
Okay.
specifically for the second edition.
Yeah. You still have. No, right? You still have covenants on it.
Yes.
Then they put a second set of bylaws on top.
Yes.
You can have layers.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah,
know.
we just have this layer.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone else in the public comment, question?
Quick question.
Okay.
Just to follow on. Are these concept drawings available online where we can view them?
One of you three has to answer. I don't know.
Well,
can we
they'll
keep
be
a record
on-
of our
shaking her
meetings?
head,
They'll be
yes.
part of the board packet.
Yeah, they're on the board.
Yeah, so if
Village.
you look at the village board website, under the meetings, there'll be a board packet, and you can access them on
Drawings
those.
will be on that.
Oh, okay.
They should be,
Should be posted.
yeah.
And that'll be first Tuesday of next month, that'll be up, right?
There's some already on there, under
Okay.
this plan commission meeting.
Yeah.
There's some drawings available on the website.
Okay. Anyone else?
Question is, what side are you gonna start on 10th and Vale and move towards the freeway? Or work from both ends, or what? Or where are you gonna start the building? Or down to the street?
Probably in the middle,
Oh, okay.
because that's where the grade is, if I remember right. That's why
Yeah.
I'm dim and that's, we'll probably want to show two different product lines.
Okay.
I'm doing that for my purposes. I did turn 56.
Any more comments? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to come out of public hearing.
I so move.
Is there a second? All in favor of coming out of public hearing signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? We are out of public hearing at 28 after the hour. Thank you. Commission members, comments, questions? Who wants to start? I'll start. I know last time we met with them, one of the big things was these driveways that abutted straight up, and I thought they did a nice job of cleaning that up and staggering them best you could in the area they have. I think it looks pretty nice.
You too.
Any other comments or questions for
These are
the?
all gonna be on slab?
There's gonna be some that are forced to be lookouts, just because the grades.
Or walkouts, lookouts.
Walkouts.
Basements, there's
There's a
like,
big variety. There'll be some that are standard flat lots, and then some that'll be lookouts, and maybe a couple walkouts.
So these all cookie cutter, they're all gonna look the exact same. Are they all gonna be the same color?
no, every other one, what we do in color. And stone.
Okay. Is there a way to, I understand the thought of every other one, they're gonna look different. Can you possibly make them look more different every third one? I mean, so we have a small community here that has its different houses and different looks. So instead of looking like the rest of these parts of the cities, which we are not part of, but we understand that they're being developed as such for older generation, single mother, this and that. Can we differentiate that a little bit? Is that a concept that you would entertain so that we can keep more of a village feel to our village than turning it into a said Woodbury that really none of us live in Woodbury because we don't like the look of it. So could we entertain an idea of breaking up stonework, breaking up colors, and create a third, a fifth, that's the same material, it's just going to look different? Is that entertainable?
Possibly, until I look at how many options we have. I don't want to say, I ain't saying no, but yes, we can look at it, but.
Because that's one of the things that would help this community still as it grows, but still create an identity of us being a village.
And actually, Jared has a point with it being a planned development, that it's supposed to be different, not cookie cutter. Aesthetically.
That's something I would like looked into. I think that's something that the neighbors would want to see, and also part of the committees of the village would like to see this, that it meshes and melds into our housing. So it's not just something that's strange and brand new, but it's something that's also probably going to work out for your buyers, that they're going to look at this and see that it is different. They aren't moving to a Woodbury. They aren't moving to a cookie cutter development. It's an idea.
I think you do a variety of things with roof treatments or the porches, or I'm not
That's
sure.
tough, it's the colors in stone, yes, you can.
Yes.
Well, you could do a hip versus a gable, or, I mean,
That's when you.
spending more money.
Get yourself in trouble.
One person wants this, another person doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it would be worth looking at. I think I agree that some variety would be useful.
Anyone else?
And what you gave us at the last meeting for the concept drawings of what they would look like, is that still the plan? Still 1,400 square feet?
I can't remember if that number is with or without the porch. There's a sunroom option, so. It's that plan though, yes.
Yeah, they have a sunroom and a patio.
And that's the main level only.
Yeah. So these are gonna be two-story?
The ones that have a basement will have the second, yes.
Okay.
But that's only,
Price point range?
well, I'll tell you what they are in New Richmond and what I think they're gonna be here, is that fair?
Well, I know what they are in New Richmond.
Okay, so I'm guessing they're gonna be about 30,000 more here, based on our cost of land and construction cost.
Are they looking then for a recommendation to approve this?
Be about
What
250.
the motion would be, yeah.
Yeah. 260, 250 here.
Is that, what are they in New Richmond? I didn't hear.
229.5.
229.
Better than I do.
How does that compare to the other housing in the area? I mean, I know what it compares to where we are on Brandon Drive, there's a significant difference. I'm not sure what it compares to.
It's getting significantly different.
Not really, because a building is 460.
Right.
And
These are twins.
Our models are right in that price point.
Mm-hmm.
We get 400.
530.
380. We're doing one right now for 360.
Anything else? Any final words? I believe they're looking for a recommendation if we would like to approve this on to the village board.
How long do you, I'm sorry,
Yeah, go ahead.
how long do you think it's gonna take to fill this? I know there's still, I think, 11 lots remaining
Probably
in,
2 years, year and a half to 2 years.
okay.
And we, in Richmond, we sold 20 of them in a year. Does that mean there's up 20 when you're here? No.
Is that phase one and phase two?
There's only one phase here.
Or the first set.
There's only one phase of Twin Homes.
Okay.
Yeah, the first edition, I think there's like 14 lots left in that.
Probably more than that.
11 lots left.
The first time we did the Twin Homes down at the
No,
bottom.
no, no, I don't mean that. Well, that's the Ridges. The twin homes down there and the 50 lots were part of the Ridges in 2003. And then in 2010, you did the first edition, which was the Vale Way 10th Street curve around thing.
Correct, that's when we did the directional bores, so we could hook up with utilities.
Well, if your website's updated, you've got 14 lots left in that first edition and 11, and 11 remaining in the original.
She does her homework.
People actually read these things.
Thank you, Mary.
I also brought in a sample of a gang mailbox that might fit.
The ones in the, we did do cluster mailboxes in the Richmond. We want to do that, actually.
A lot of the post office require that now.
Yeah.
What's that?
The post office requires that.
Usually, you don't
Yeah,
have
well,
a
my
choice.
son lives in River Falls, they do. Yeah.
Wish they'd do it on the highway.
Anything else?
I was just gonna comment too, I appreciate your connecting the walkway to the trail. I mean, and did you have a conversation with Zappa regarding the location of that, or?
I talked to Gary the day we submitted it, 'cause I thought, as a good neighbor, you should at least,
Yeah,
and he was like, good, get it going so I can do mine soon. I'm ready to retire. I don't think any of us believe that, but.
Yeah.
Not him. No, thanks.
Okay.
Well, what's the sense of the plan commission? Does anyone feel like submitting a motion?
There's too many cars. I'd rather this look.
And we're just doing the twin homes. We're not doing the third edition future.
No, just the twins.
Just the twin homes. Because I know somewhere in here, it also talked about doing the third edition. It was, I think, the request and the updated general development plan.
No, this is just this is just the Twin Homes. It's clear.
Yeah, it is just for the twin.
Yeah, but this says second and third edition.
I'm not sure what you're pointing to.
I don't get it.
General development plan? Yep.
That's not submitted for approval, that's their,
Well, that has to go along with, because it's a PDD, it has to go along with the village board, everything, the site plan, preliminary plat, the design plans, the covenants, and the general development plan.
you talking about this piece of paper, this document, the narrative?
19 single-family homes.
Your ordinance does require that does have to be approved by the village board, because it is an amendment.
Right.
Because there's a change from being single-family to twin homes, so that's why this document was revised compared to when the original one was approved back in '03.
Here it describes it as third edition of the future phase, so this is the projected development plan. We're approving the language that this may go forward at the time that it does, but we're not approving the plan of that third development. So, I don't think there's a conflict in that.
No, it'll have to be amended again, though, when the
Yep.
third one comes up.
And we can
The
certainly-
third edition would be just like the second, you start.
I'm guessing, I
It's like we're
just
doing
didn't
now.
want it, said, well, we already said we were gonna have 19 single-family homes, and you approved it.
Well, if it
Because
comes
we
up-
don't,
If it comes up different in the future of third edition, the commission can address it at that time.
Well, we don't even have what the plans are for the third phase.
'Cause
So I don't know how we can approve the future phase when we don't have the preliminary plat and everything else for it.
Yeah, this is just for the second edition approval, and that's.
So I'm saying the narrative should take out the third edition references.
Right.
I don't know. Where
Or
do you
is it better
see,
to have it in there so at least you have an
where
inkling
do
of
you
what's
see
coming?
third?
That's why I wanted to see the original from 2003, but that
Where does it say
didn't,
third?
the information wasn't complete.
Oh, there.
I mean, on the cover sheet, it truly says, the Ridge is the second.
Second edition. So I would prefer that the third edition not even be mentioned.
So back to Rod.
Because it doesn't
Rob's
mention the
comment.
first.
There's not conflict here, is there, by stating what they think they might do in the third edition?
You can,
Or is it confusing?
you can take it out, I don't think it matters either way.
Either way,
If you feel
okay.
more comfortable with it out, you
Yeah,
can take this.
I'm comfortable
that
knowing
sentence
that there's a projected intended
Yeah, that
future
Me
there's,
too.
there's a future of what's gonna happen.
And-
I mean, it
coming
might
up.
change, it will change, but it's,
Right.
it's,
and
best
then
guess.
we'll get the chance to approve it at
Yes.
its,
I
at
guess
its
one
opportunity.
advantage of having it, the 20 single families is if they come back in with 50 twin homes,
Right.
you're saying, well,
What are you doing?
yeah, what are you
got that
doing?
right here.
The third was supposed to be single family. We allowed the second for some twin homes and,
Well, okay, these were all supposed to be single family, and they came back with twin homes.
yep,
So,
yep. And that's why they have to get it approved.
I think they should all be single family. I don't think you should have twin homes up there. I don't know, That's me.
People don't want to.
anything else? Anyone?
the only other thing would be the street name that's included in here. Item 5, or paragraph 5. It's naming the street as 10th Street. Maybe just for clarification on what's going where, but,
The final plat will come in front of this,
Mm-hmm.
at the end, the plan commission. So at that time, that's truly when that name will be.
And the person who makes the motion can put in a recommendation. Now, the village board has prerogative to overrule us, of course.
yes.
But at least they can see our sense.
I think as long as it's.
I made a motion last meeting. I've never made a motion before. I'd like to.
For short last week.
Go for it.
The township.
I'd like to spread the wealth.
There's north, and then it goes to-
What do you think, Rob?
Well, I would move approval of the application for the, let's see, application for the Ridges Second Edition, as stated in the agenda. Contingent on the comments from Cedar Corporation, the 9 comments, 9 points. And I guess including the name being 10th Street North, being designated as 10th Street North. The street in question. I guess that would be from
What should say?
Vailway North through the site to Adam Drive. Should be 10th Street North.
I agree with
Anything else? And meeting all, what's that piece? You should,
If we can just have,
That's,
the
yeah.
general development plan approval through.
yeah.
Okay. Is there a second to that?
Second.
Okay. Discussion. I was unclear what you said about the street.
The street name should be 10th Street North.
Should be 10th.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Any other comments?
Do you want to include something about variation in decor? Is that,
Well, I think that's important. That would be, yeah, and with the addition of a variety of colors and finishes, and even roof treatments if possible, to differentiate homes from one another.
Okay.
So it'd be, and we know the plans are the same, but I think that there can be a variety of treatments of the
The
facade
exterior
and the
you're talking
exterior,
about.
so,
It was his motion, so that's still part of his motion.
yeah.
Okay. You second that too? Who seconded that?
I'll second it too.
Okay. So you getting it? Are these,
Okay.
maybe you should read them back.
Any other discussion? Last chance?
No, I don't know if the gang mailbox thing is something that needs to be at least mentioned. I know other people are making the decision, but
It'll be in the minutes to the to the village board. Okay? And if you had a picture, I didn't have it, but if you have a picture, we can include that too.
yeah.
Anything else? Hearing none, there's a motion on the floor and second it. I can't read it verbatim, but with Rob's motion, with the engineer's comments, all governmental agency requirements, and Plan Commission recommends the street name be 10th Street. All in favor of this motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you.
Only on the street name.
I didn't vote. Abstained?
Hey, I remember a couple where I was the only no vote.
Don't say, abstained.
Don't say nothing?
No. we don't have
Anyone have any new business? Gene, do you have any business?
Do I have any business?
Adjournment.
Gene, come on.
I move that we adjourn this meeting.
We have a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor of adjournment signify by saying aye.
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 We are adjourned at 7:46. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.